How to get a business loan for a restaurant with bad credit, same day instant approval funding available with as little as a 450 plus FICO credit score. Hi, welcome into this video. I will be thoroughly walking you inside of what you must know about getting a business loan for your restaurant as fast as possible. What are the standards? What are these expectations, the rates, the terms, some misconceptions, what you might think you know, but it actually isn't true, and so much more. So stick with me until the very end of this video. But before I get started, if this is the first time you're watching me, my name is Michael from Viral Funding Solutions, and I come out with all types of content on small business loans, cash advances, building business credit the right way, how to take advantage of different opportunities so it can open up your whole world so you can see a whole bunch more that you may not be seeing at this moment. So if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so and click the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I come out with. Let's get right into this. So I put up a quick document because I want to put some things on it as I go through this with you. But our expectations are, hey, let's go to the bank. Well, we get declined. If you haven't already, you might want to avoid that if you know those expectations. Maybe we have some type of a collateral asset that we have to put in, but they won't accept it. Maybe your credit score isn't high enough, your revenue, it's just not high enough for you to get a bank loan. And then the changes in restaurants are very sporadic. And one season you may be operating and in another season you might be gone, or it's just in a matter of one season, a day goes by, not even a week, not even a month, not even in a year. And maybe you are back on the unemployment line, right? Trying to look for a job or trying to open up another business or just trying to make this work. Now, we know that option isn't on the table. You can't turn to your savings account anymore, whether it is completely depleted or you just can't withdraw. You're saving that money for a rainy day, for a vacation, kids' college tuition, etc. And you can't turn to friends and family's help anymore. So there are these alternative loans online. I'm sure you're well aware of them. You've heard of the SBAs, the PPPs. There are specific restaurant ones that I'm not sure if they're all available at this moment, but they come and they go. Grants do as well. So you just have to be very aware of this. And if you try to go and apply for like a bank, let's say you might get a low 2% up to maybe 8% plus, and I know it's a lot lower. With these online ones, like an SBA loan, it might be maybe as low as a 2 or 3%, as much as 8% plus, depending on the SBA loan. I know the EIDL loans are very popular at the moment of me making this video. That isn't available, as well as the PPP grants. Again, they come and they go, and some specific restaurant ones, they're not always available. But for all EIDL information and everything, you can pick up down below in the description. I'll leave video content and free resources for you and ways for you to get a hold of me. So these online loans, what is expected from them? Let's go down here. So I kind of went in more or less an SBA loan. You have the EIDL, the Targeted Advance Grant. Those two are not available. I'm not sure when they will be opened up again in the future. The PPP loan, I'm not sure about that one as well. There's not information yet. There are some alternative to the PPP. If you have a certain amount of employees, you can get a certain amount for each of these employees. I'll leave information to the employee retention credit opportunity, so make sure to look for that video down below. But SBA loans, you can see maybe a 2% to an 8%, more or less, right? It's not always concrete or set in stone like that. It's what you're going to get because somebody else gets it. When we go to the online loans, you're looking at somewhere between 7% to 100% plus. And I know how that sounds. I know where your standards are because I've been in your shoes. If this is the very first time you're trying to get alternative lending on the internet, or maybe you haven't, you're like, this guy's full of it. The thing is, your expectations or standards, what the SBA, what the banks have set for you, it's programmed you and I to think that's the only thing we need. We need these lower interest rates with longer terms, these monthly payments. That isn't always the reality. So it depends on the type of products we're talking about, online loans, but there are so many of them available. And I'm going to list just a few of the many. But we can do a business term loan. And there are multiple ones. We have a secured, we have an unsecured one, we have short term, we have medium term, longer term. Short term meaning we can do from anywhere between usually 4 to 24 months. We can do more of a medium, where it's like maybe 2 to 5, and then a longer, which is up to 10 years, 2 to 10 or 5 to 10 years is what you would see. So those are some of the expectations we have. And with some of the more medium to longer terms, we can do these types of monthly payments. We might be able to give you a longer term, lower monthly payments, but you have to be very careful because the interest you're paying on the principal and then the interest, that can add on over time. There may be early payment discounts, but in truthful, if you're really needing that amount of time, you may be paying too much in interest. Maybe you finish your projects earlier and you still have this amount of interest that's been gathered and it's still continuing to pile up. You're looking at about maybe 50% more expensive than what you would expect in other places, where you'd be like, okay, well, maybe you only needed 20,000. So it wouldn't make sense for you to get longer terms. Maybe you have some type of an expansion set up in your restaurant. And I speak to so many restaurant owners, if I haven't said this, and I get it. I know you need help. I've heard it all, seen it and heard it all. I know the different situations. And why would you want to listen to me as opposed to going to another place? Probably you try to go through Lendio, you try to go through like Lending Tree, all these places. The thing is, they don't always clear the big picture for you. They don't always paint the big picture. They don't communicate with you thoroughly on what your needs are. How is your business doing? How are you doing? I do this. And if you want to get a hold of me very quickly, one of the fastest ways to do this, and I'll leave a contact form down below in the description, fill this out. It'll look like this more or less. So you can come to this form. You can learn more about me. You can learn more about the website, viralfundingsolutions.com. And submit this funding form for business, for your restaurant. Give me some additional notes. That's your place right there to share with me. What do you expect? What are your expectations? Perhaps what is the project you have? What do you need to use these funds for specifically? Put all that there so I can get a bigger picture and a better understanding. And this will be confidential between you and I. It won't hurt you if you put your credit score in there. It won't at all. We're not putting an application in, and a lot of applications have a soft pull. So you shouldn't be worried about that. But this will gather information, and this will show me, okay, what can I help you with? How can I analyze this, evaluate it, give you your options, your best option, show you how it works, qualifications, and so much more. A lot of people are already doing this. So SBA loans, traditional bank loans, more or less, online loans, 7% to 100%. You have these business term loans where you can get secured and unsecured. Unsecured, usually you don't have to put any kind of collateral. Secured, it is. For the most part, people take an unsecured type of way, and that's what I recommend. And you can get these monthly payments, longer terms. As I said already, there are short, medium, and long term. Just because they offer you a monthly payment with maybe the interest rate isn't as low. The thing you see with these types of, let me go over here. You're still going to get like a 25 to 50%, depending on the program. It can shift. It can be more, it can be less. It now depends on your file. But that's what is to be expected when you don't get an SBA loan. And those are ideal. You can't go to the bank. We have these alternative loans. But if you're looking for a medium/higher, longer term, yes, it might be these lower monthly payments, but it'll be added interest and it won't make sense. And then you have shorter, which can more or less look the same. So again, it can be anywhere from 7% to 100%. It can be the same as what I just said here with a longer term. But with these shorter ones, I have had so many people who come in who are like, they have the revenue, or maybe you don't have the revenue. But for this example, let's say you're doing 85K within, maybe 85K within 3 months. Maybe you're doing 75K 1 month, you have an 85K month, and then you have an 89K month. This is what we look at. This is what the underwriters, this is what the lenders want to get at all day. So what is your criteria? You're asking for 25K. In your mind, you're thinking, well, maybe these weekly types of payments would be okay. I don't, preferably not. Monthly would be awesome, but they just don't work that way. This is the truth. This is the reality. Not only with business term loans, you're going to see this also with like business lines of credits. You're going to see this with other types of loans that are out there, but with 85K within each of the last 3 months. But we're saying, okay, maybe it's shifted a little bit with those three numbers. You only want 25K. Maybe your details, I want an expansion. I'm opening up a new location. Maybe I'm adding new employees or something. And then you need just a few things for marketing. Or let's stick with one. You're doing maybe new location. And you just need the extra cash to help you with that. You already have something else that's helping. You just need an extra 25K. Then it makes sense to do 25K. Looks like with those numbers, we can help you get it. And then we want to know what the credit score is at. And the thing is, what most people do is they'll do it daily, sometimes weekly. And weekly, you have to understand that to move into a lot of the weekly things, you have to be doing more in revenue, your business profile, everything has to look better. And if you even start off at a daily, there's nothing bad with that. It causes less defaults. And then you have to prove, the lender doesn't know if they're going to get their money back. Why should they trust you? You haven't built any relationship with me. Why am I going to give you a weekly payment or a monthly payment when I don't know if it's all going to be paid back in full? We have expectations, but we have to lower them. There are instances where you'll get a weekly, maybe even a monthly payment, specifically with these business term loans. Sometimes with the business line of credit, not all the times, but the interest rates will still be high. It's like you got to budge. If I get a medium to high interest rates, do I get longer terms? Do I get longer terms and I get a lower interest rate? That'd be ideal. So one of the programs that I specifically prefer where you can get a 20K business loan is with a company called David Allen Capital, where we can get you even up to 25,000 same day instant approval with as little as a 450 plus FICO credit score. Only 5,000 plus monthly bank revenue, business checking account, 6 months in business, a 450 plus credit score again, like I just said, and then all industries are welcomed. Soft pull, no hard credit inquiries, no collateral, industry leading early pay discounts. Add-on funds are available. Payment history earns you more. Personalized account manager. We see funds time and time again. So I recommend a company here like David Allen Capital. This is their Bank Breezy service up to 25K. And they even have one where you can get up to 2 million incredibly fast funding within a days of approval, funds within a day or two, as much as a week, depending on your file. And we also have other programs out there for business term loans if you needed a longer term. Doesn't necessarily mean you will get it, right? You are always thinking, well, if I'm doing this in revenue, I should be able to qualify. No, it just should, but it doesn't come down to the numbers. When I look at it, underwriters and lenders, they go, nope. Why wouldn't we want to give you, for example, you're asking for 50K. You have strong revenue. Maybe it is at 50K to 60K. You have a credit score less ideal. Maybe it's at a 550. And your expectations are, I want to get, and I'm writing this down over here. Expectations are, I want 24 months equals 2 years, and I want an interest rate of 7%. Do you think that'll work? No. And then your explanation for use of funds, expansion, I want to hire 2 more employees, and then I want this for a marketing project. No, it wouldn't make sense to give you 2+ years, depending on the funding criteria as well and what the needs are. Maybe we can do longer if you're doing stronger revenue, and if the credit score is higher, it's not even where it needs to be. But there are so many things we look at. Just know that there are options on the table, and to know what they are, please submit a funding form. Please look out for a company like this, like David Allen Capital down below, to help your restaurants thrive. And we're not looking at survive and thrive. Okay, or thrive and survive. What I'm saying is, if you really needed the money for your business, your restaurant, and if you're just trying to survive, keep afloat, it would never make sense for you to take this funding because the benefit does not exceed the repayment, and you're just going to think it's just too expensive. And I'll be honest, it's not. going to be non-expensive. It's just, is your business in a growth or an expansion? And if not, and if you're not going to stay stable, you're not going to increase your profits, then it doesn't make sense. A business who has a patio set that they're trying to put together, for it's going to bring in an extra 200 to 300 people per month, going to increase your bottom line by an extra 20 to 30K. The funding that you have to pay back, it's not going to be anything. It's going to be irrelevant to what you're actually making, or it's just keeping you stable. It's fine, but it will never make sense to you if you're just trying to survive, keep a head afloat. Now, if you need startup funding, it's really hard to get that. No lender is going to give you really any kind of money like that. But for all other things like grant opportunities, SBA IDL updates, maybe some startup funding options like crowdfunding, and I've put out content on that already on what to expect for it. Look down below in the description. You also want to build business credit. If you haven't started building business credit, that's one way to work around it. There are people right now to this day who do well in their business, but they wish they would have listened to me and gotten started with building business credit. I have a free video series down below in the description for you to pick up. But that's how you can get access to over $250,000 in funding that's not tied to your Social Security or personal FICO credit score. Building these vendors, these vendor trade lines, approve you for more funding. Learn how to do that. And if you haven't built it up fundamentally, it's not going to help you. So learn the fundamentals down below. Look for all the programs. If you want a longer term, I'll have information for that. See if you qualify for even those 2 to 10 plus years, if it makes sense. Even if you qualify, does it even make sense? Not everybody's going to qualify for these monthly term loans. They're usually going to be daily, weekly. And for what you need, it always makes sense to do that. So that's everything from me in this video. Another way to get a hold of me is pick up this free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist. If you want to know everything about what you must know before you walk into an application with 110% confidence and certainty you will be approved without wasting time. We're talking about days, weeks, months, and even years of sifting through information that's old, outdated, scammy, and might not work. Pick this up down below in the description. It will very much help you out. And for anything else, make sure you leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any future videos I will be coming out with. Okay, thank you.